think, believe me, these niggas died of me. Look what I'm becoming. What I did, it made a man of me. All the that I did, I swear my mother gonna be proud
What
of
it
me.
do, YouTube? It's Ty Fetty with the Fetty back at y'all with another video, man. Y'all know why we here, man. To handle business, man. Before the video start, I just want to give a big shout out and a big thanks to everybody who has supported me to this point, bro. We almost at 10K subs, bro. And guess what? I'm nowhere near done, bro. I'm telling y'all right now, bro. Y'all better get used to Ty Fetty. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not leaving. I'm not stopping. I'm not going nowhere. Y'all gonna have to physically remove me from YouTube, and y'all can't do that because I'm thorough. You did? But nah, before the video start, man, look, you know what we do before every video now. I just want to give a big shout out to Marcus Britta. I appreciate you, bro. Like, no funny shit. I appreciate you, bro. Blessings to you. Salute to you. I'm gonna keep going hard for y'all, bro. Also, shout out Drizzy134. I appreciate you, bro. They don't go unnoticed, bro. I got y'all, bro. Y'all gonna see, like, bro, I'm about to start upgrading some things. I'm about to start doing things a little different. I'm gonna have a better quality. I'm gonna have better. I got y'all, bro. I got some things in store for y'all, bro. I'm excited, bro. I appreciate everybody who appreciate me. Before the video starts, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna say it again, bro. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna say it one more. Matter of fact, like, comment, subscribe. Before I gotta beat you up, man. We taking that shit to the West Coast today, y'all. We got Grape Street versus Watts. As y'all know, Watts is in, what is it, LA, South Central? If I'm wrong, correct me, bro. I don't know much about the West Coast in terms of geography and shit. I know Watts is LA, whatever, like South Central. It's somewhere over there. We got Grape Street. If you don't know, Grape Street is Crips. I know that. You know what I mean? So let's see what they talking about, man. Let's take a trip to LA.
Welcome back to another episode of Swamp Stories. This time, we head back to Los Angeles.
Told you, y'all.
Before we get into the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy the content.
Shout
Welcome
out
to Los
Swamp
Angeles,
Stories, man.
the city of angels, known for two different realities. Hollywood, UCLA, the beaches, Disneyland. How can life get better than the Sunshine State? That's what a tourist thinks of LA, of course, but many residents know a different reality of the city. They know a rougher side. A side that's unforgiving and can be ruthless at times.
Damn.
Many of these people live in South Central and have seen years of mistreatment boil and turn into a chaotic environment. But in order for it all to make sense, you know how such a beautiful and opportunistic city can also have a darker side? We must take a quick history lesson.
Let's go. Let's take it then. Let's do it.
It's the 1950s and LA is growing and becoming one of the most prosperous cities in the country, not to mention the great weather and the beaches as well. It was paradise, and many Southerners wanted to be a part of it. They saw LA as a utopia compared to what they were going through in the South. Hundreds of thousands of African Americans moved down to LA, but were met with a whole different reality than what they expected. They assumed that they would be welcomed with open arms, but they ran into something completely different. At the time, it was 95% white, and the locals didn't want to see that change. They wanted the new residents gone, so they did everything in their power to make life difficult for them. They even enacted a law making sure they could only live south of Central Avenue, and that's how it became South Central.
Like, boom. When I do these videos, bro, I be saying, of course people wrong for what they do in terms of crime and all that, but y'all gotta understand where people come from, bro. Like, this is before majority of us, this is before damn near everybody, one of us was born, bro. And it already was starting with controversy, trials and tribulations from just wanting to move to a new city and start a new life, bro. So now you got your people trying to work 10 times as hard in order to maintain a good living for they children. And it's hard to do that, bro, when you got people that's shitting on you the whole time you trying to do good for your family. And that just continues from generation to generation to generation. And that's how you get, you know, how they say generational wealth is such thing as generational poverty, bro. Like, you gotta get lucky and be really good at something to be able to get rich, bro. Let's just be real, bro. Like, that's why it's such a little percent of people that's rich, bro. Like, that's like, you have to really, you feel me? Generational poverty is a thing, bro. They can't break that cycle because of the way America is today, bro. It's not set up for us to win, bro. That's just what it is. I'm just giving y'all the facts, bro.
The law basically prevented them from living in 80% of Los Angeles County, and this would keep them at a disadvantage compared to those who had the ability to move to more upscale areas. They were pushed away from the LA society. South Central, Watts, and Compton had large wartime housing complexes which would be turned into public housing units. In fact, Watts has the most, with 1 out of 3 Watts residents living in public housing, which is the highest rate for any city on the West Coast. Here's how it works. Residents' rent is 1/3 of their income. So if you make $100 a month, you pay $33 a month in rent. And 50% of the residents are unemployed. So it's fair to say that half of public housing residents in Watts live rent-free. Over the years, these areas became strongholds for all kinds of crimes and danger. After a while, things just seemed to get worse and worse.
The way I feel, we have no way else way to event our frustration out, because we're already at the bottom. You know, what else can we do?
We're tired of living behind bars. We're tired of being afraid to leave our homes at night.
LA sparked a trend of resistance to the powers that be. NWA changed music forever and the rest was history. But for today though, we're not straight out of Compton. We focus on the Jordan Downs projects, also known as Grape Street. Grape Street residents came from 2 specific places, Memphis and New Orleans. Then many of them moved back to the South and brought Grape Street with them.
I was about to say, like, if y'all don't know, Grapes is big in Memphis. Like, that's one of the biggest sets in Memphis. Like Grapes, bro. Y'all didn't know that. I know that. I got a couple homies in Memphis. Weird flex, but okay, my bad, y'all.
That's why you see grape neighborhoods in Memphis.
See?
Rappers like Block
I never seen this shit before,
and
y'all.
Choppa represent the grape. But in LA, Grape Street became feared and gained a rough reputation. They're known to have problems with everyone left and right. It's really Grape Street versus the world. But before we get into it, let me run the intro.
Huh? Why you mad she choosing me? I like what she do to me. She said she feel safer over here. This where the shooters be. Hey. Oh my god, listen to that after this, y'all. I can't
Grape
lie.
Street wears purple, which distinguishes them from everyone else in LA. They're headlined by 03 Greedo, but Tyrese Gibson grew up there as well. They distinguish themselves by wearing purple, but also for the way they speak. Although it's been years, their southern accents and slang have been passed down for generations. Grape Street is like a giant family connected through concrete and colors. They're always known to roll 200 deep at any event. Their reputation has always been to ruin any occasion they attend. That takes me to August 11th, 2002. LA's biggest hip-hop radio station throws their annual Summer Jam concert. 2002 is headlined by Nelly and Snoop. They're set to perform at the end of the night. 15,000 people would pour into the venue expecting a great night. Well, Grape Street would be there as well, and they had different intentions for the night. You could clearly spot them in their purple headbands, jerseys, and extra long jean shorts. I can't believe people used to dress like that, then have the nerve to criticize our generation.
That's a fact.
That's all besides
It
the
be
point.
tripping.
The point is that Grape Street would absolutely ruin Summer Jam for everyone. They would get into a big altercation in the front row. Security couldn't handle them, so they had to call for all kinds of backup to finally get them off stage. But by then, everyone had left, and they ended up canceling Summer Jam.
Damn.
Mind you, the night had barely gotten started. 15,000 people walked home empty-handed. This moment here is when the industry decided that they wanted nothing to do with Grape Street. The bad reputation has lasted all this time. 03 Greedo says no one in the industry ever wants to work with them. And hey, after what they did, I'm not sure I would want to either. It's safe to say that Grape Street has had their imprint on LA in a major way. They're feared by many, but not by all. That brings me to the Nickerson Gardens. Welcome to the Nickerson Gardens, the largest public housing complex west of the Mississippi. 156 buildings and over 1,000 units located just 5 minutes down the street from Jordan Downs.
Like, that's what I was saying last video, y'all. He just said 156 buildings, bruh, with over 1,000 units, bruh. All of your friends live in the same complex, bro. Like, as a kid, forget the beef, forget the gangs. As a kid, and you just want to go outside and play until them street lights come on, bruh. Imagine you get to walk outside and see every single one of your friends walking out the building, bruh. You're not worried about poverty. You're not worried about what you're going to eat for dinner. You get to enjoy time with your friends and you don't have to leave your complex, bro. Y'all can't tell me that don't sound like a hell of a childhood, bro. I can't lie.
Just like Jordan Downs, Nickerson Gardens were developed as temporary housing back in the 1940s. Over the years, they became a strictly BLOOD neighborhood. Nothing but red is flying through this zone. It's occupied by the bounty hunters, also known as BHB. One thing you won't see in Nickerson Gardens is purple, because that's what the rivals wear. This rivalry started way back in the day and has never stopped since. The Nickerson Gardens are represented by J-Rock, Kendrick Lamar's biggest artist on TDE. It's also represented by YG's artist D3. Back in the day, the Nickerson Gardens were represented by a rap group called OFTB. You can also see Kendrick Lamar rapping in the projects back in 2009.
They hot because they homie said they was a few times, which is too many times a lying to you. They telling a lie. The only time I lie in the booth.
Oh, Kendrick Lamar
I
blood?
guess we can say he was always good in the hood. And now he gives back to the community and holds a free concert right there in Nickerson every year. BHB and Grape Street's rivalry has claimed the lives of many residents on both sides. Let's get into it. Now let me mention that at this time, Nickerson Gardens and PJ Watts, which is Imperial Courts, were allies and running together. September 23rd, 2012, 2:30 p.m. It's a nice sunny day in LA when a man named Marvin Vital is sitting outside with his girlfriend and Jordan Downs.
Okay.
That's when a car approaches and bam! Marvin gets rushed to the hospital with a big wrap around his head because that's where he was hit. Thankfully though, it didn't go through and he ended up being alright.
What do you use, a deuce? It ain't go through.
His hospital bed, they pull out a notepad and they want to ask him questions.
Nah, don't say you
That's
ratted,
when
bro.
Marvin gets upset. He rips
right.
off his equipment and storms out of the hospital in his gown. He heads straight back home to Grape Street with a wrap over his head. That's when neighbors hear him yell, "I'm gonna get them back." Well, he would meet up with two of his Grape Street associates, Kevin Phillips and Christopher Ladd. They were upset and frustrated and wanted to leave their mark on the opposition. So instead of getting a rental, they decided to borrow Phillips' girlfriend's minivan, a blue Chrysler Pacifica.
Nigga, that is no. Like, you leaving the door open to snitch. You leaving the door open to get caught. Like, no, that's a no. That's a no. No, it's a big no, bro.
They wait a couple of hours for the sun to go down, and at 7:15, it was go time. They head down to the Nickerson Gardens and drive around, and boom, there stands legendary OFTB rapper Flipside. Flipside is outside with his girlfriend when they approach him in the minivan. They call him over, so he walks up to the van. Then he realizes that these guys have bad intentions. He turns around and runs towards the apartments, and that's when they hop out of the minivan. Bam.
Damn. That's an OG, what he just said.
Then they hop back in the minivan and head straight over to the Imperial Courts. They drive around looking for PJ Watts outside. That's where they find a man named Marquise Brighter. They hop out of the minivan again and bam.
Oh, they was sliding.
Then about an hour or so later, they're still in the blue minivan driving around Watts. An officer passing by notices a taillight is out, so he pulls them over. And that's where it all come down for them. They didn't even have a tuck spot and they left everything in plain sight. They didn't ditch anything or make a run. They were simply fine with the consequences. It's safe to say that Grape Street was on a mission that day.
The hell?
And from there on, things would get hectic. The Nickerson Gardens would not be thrilled about losing such a prominent figure in the community. Flipside was a mentor to J-Rock and the younger generation trying to make it out. He had OG status and he was just caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. The Nickerson Gardens would be destined to return the favor. On Halloween 2012, they would slide and hit 3 people on Grape Street. All would make it and they felt like their mission was unaccomplished. 6 days later, November 6, 2012, 12 people are hanging out on Grape Street. That's when a black car parks behind the project. They hop out and yell, "What set you from?" And before the men even get a chance to answer, bam! The aftermath is where things get interesting. Because of a social media post, LAPD arrests Damian for it. This is a man from Nickerson Gardens. But in reality, they had no evidence to charge anyone. They just wanted to show that they were making an effort. This is something DAs tend to do when headline events take place. Well, they figured why not bring him in and place him in a cell with someone. But this someone
confidential
isn't just
informant.
anyone.
I know it.
It's an undercover
Know
trying
it.
to get information out of him. The man would ask him questions to warm him up. Then he would start asking specific
Man, them
things.
folks slick,
Damian
boy.
would tell him exactly what happened. And he would add all kinds of details. He would admit that it was him who did it, along with Cordell Hawkins and Darnell Snell.
Like, bruh, like, fool, if you go on a move, bro, shut up, bruh. If he wasn't there with you, bruh, you don't need to know about it, bruh. How hard is that, bruh? Like, that's the problem with the streets now, bro. Niggas feel as though, like, they gotta prove themselves to somebody, bro. They want people to know that they killers or they, you hear me? They steppers, bruh. As long as you know that inside your heart, bruh, and your folks, like your people that you hang with know that, bro, it don't matter, bro. You don't gotta prove yourself to nobody, fool. Like I said before, character, also integrity, is what you do when people aren't looking. The same thing with that, bro. Like, you don't have to prove yourself, bro. You could be all this. You could be the biggest gangster you want to be, fool. Nobody else has to know, though, bro. That's how people get caught up, bro. It's dumb. You moving stupid, bro. You moving dumb. That's moving backwards, bro. Where I'm from, we call that in the way. You're in the way.
Cordell was driving and Darnell was on foot.
Right.
He would tell the cellmate that Darnell froze up. While Snell and Hawkins would go down for it, and they would place them with undercovers as well. Snell would admit to his cellmate that he froze up in the moment and that he didn't have it in him. His quote was, "I didn't have the heart for it." He then identified Damian as the one who got the job done. On top of this, Ashton Croswell, right before he passed, would tell his friend that it was Damian from Nickerson. The friend is Robert McCovery, and he would tell LAPD that it was Damian who did it. Then later in court, he would say that he never told them anything. He didn't want to be labeled a rat. But it was too late because they had already written it in their official notes. Moral of the story is that no one could keep their mouth shut, not for a second. Despite all of the anti-snitching in music, the streets sure do run their mouth when things get serious.
I'm telling you, bro.
It seems like a common theme in all my videos. I think there should be an oath you take before you jump off the porch. You have to accept all the consequences of the streets before you jump in.
They
I
do.
think there's a lot of
There is an
street gangs
oath.
who have 1 foot in
They
and
just be
1 foot out.
capping.
And that right there puts all the people around you in jeopardy.
They capping,
Either be
bro.
all in or don't be in it at all. And definitely don't hang around people who are in it if you're not. That's just what would make sense to me. For example, for Darnell Snell, he's probably a good dude who was just caught up in his surroundings. Let me know in the comments how you feel about that. Does that make any sense? Well, the next few years would bring the same kinds of stories, but it would also bring a lot of positivity on both sides as well. Nickerson Gardens rapper J-Rock would be featured on Kendrick Lamar's Best album, and it's not even close. His career would take off and his 2015 album 90059 would hit #1 on the hip-hop charts. For Grape Street, a new rapper named 03 Greedo would hit the scene. His unique style and look would catch national attention, especially when he dropped his hit song Mafia Business. But people didn't know that this song was just meant to be played at the funeral of his close friend Raymond Arnold. It was July 16th, 2016 at a barbershop on Crenshaw Boulevard. He was in the middle of getting a cut when a man would come in and get into an argument with him. That argument turned into a scuffle, and that's when the man would take it to another level and bam. This loss would devastate 03 Greedo, so the song was a tribute to him and the last conversations they had. Then, just months later, he would lose another close friend named Paul Reed on 109th. 2016 was a rough year for him and Grape Street, but on the bright side, he would drop his mixtape Purple Summers, which would take his career to a whole new level.
The hell wrong
Then
with
he
his
would drop
teeth
his
and
album
face and
First
shit?
Day Out after being released after posting
hell?
Bond. 03 was road running and got pulled over and searched. Now mind you, this happened in Texas and they do not play about this kind of stuff. In California, you'll be out in no time, but in Texas, well, 03 would be sentenced to 20 years. That is an absurd amount of time for somebody who wasn't bothering anyone. Well, before he would have to turn himself in and start his sentence, he would have a year of freedom. This is when he decided he would spend it in the studio, and he claims he made 12 songs a night. He could be sitting on plenty of unreleased albums. Today, LA has sold their public housing to private developers to rebuild. The Jordan Downs are currently in the process of being torn down and they look like this now. The community feels different ways about it. Some feel like LA is trying to displace the residents and turn these into luxury apartments. Others think that it's good for the community. Let me know in the comments what you think is the real reason behind this. With that being said, this will conclude the episode 1 of Grape Street series. If you want to see more
Hey y'all, look. For me, I dove into the west side a little bit, the west coast, man. You know, I don't know about nothing, man, you know. Trying to see what's going on out there. If y'all got any west coast recommendations, bro, of anybody, any gang, any whatever, bro, drop it down below. I'm gonna do it, bro. I gotta tap into the west coast. I'm showing the east coast love. I gotta show everybody love, bro. Y'all know me. I'm here to spread the wealth, bro. Everybody eat, bro. I wanna, you feel me? We gonna put it on for every single state in America, bro. Feel me? But look, man, like I said, man, I appreciate y'all, bro. I'm gonna keep going hard for y'all, bro. Y'all keep rocking with me. I'm gonna keep rocking with y'all, bro. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, man. Stay smart, man. Stay dangerous. Ty Fetty, I'm gone.